welcome to the first official episode of Now You Know. And in this episode we are covering some urban legends / mythical creatures, starting with the Selkie and the black dog. Just a quick disclaimer, this episode does talk about death, so if you're uncomfortable with that, this video may not be for you. Okay. Let's start off with the black dog. Okay. The black dog is a supernatural, spectral, or demonic entity from English folklore. It is usually unnaturally large with glowing red or yellow eyes. It is often connected with a hellhound and is sometimes an omen of death. It is sometimes associated with electrical storms and also with crossroads, places of execution, and ancient pathways. Black dogs are generally regarded as sinister or malevolent, and a few are said to be directly harmful. Some black dogs, however, such as the Gert dog in Somerset, are said to behave benevolently as guardian black dogs, guiding travellers at night onto the right path or protecting them from danger. The black dog is a recognised folkloric motif. So, yeah, that's just the basic gist of the black dog. And then the origins. The origins of the black dog are difficult to discern. It is uncertain whether the creature originated in the Celtic or Germanic elements of British culture. Throughout European mythology, dogs have been associated with death. Examples are, I'm going to butcher this, but Garmr, Garmr, Norse, and Cerberus, Greek, both of whom were in some way guardians of the underworld. This association seems to be due to the scavenging habits of the dog. It is possible that the black dog is a survival of these beliefs. So basically, just overall, black dogs are normally associated with death, and they can either be good or bad, but it's more likely that they're bad. I believe the most popular reference I can think of is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where obviously Sirius Black had turned in, well, I forget the word now, but there is a word for it, but he shapeshifted into a black dog, and people mistake that as like a bad omen of death. Like I'm so sorry, I'm so rusty with my references, but the teacher who reads the tea leaves. If you know Harry Potter, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, so that's about it for the black dog, and moving on to the Selkies. The Selkies, also called the Seal People. The Sea People, or the Mermaid, is a marine legend that tells of people who are half fish and half human. In the water, they are seals, but on land they shed their skin and take on a human form, and for some reason they are irresistible to ordinary humans, who are apt to fall in love with the Seal People. Legend has it that in order to come ashore, Selkies must first shed their skin or tail, and if you manage to find that skin and hide it away, the seal person cannot return to the sea. Irish folklore is littered with tales of men and women, usually men, finding a Selkie skin and hiding it, then marrying the Selkie woman, which kind of disturbing when you think about it. You're basically taking it's reusable skin, I guess. Yeah, that's a little disturbing when you think about it. But I imagine I wonder how they fit into the skin, because also, would they not get, like, if they stayed in it for too long, would they not get, like, cramps or something? Also, are they shapeshifters, or are they just kind of always humans, or I'm not sure, but this. Do you think the skin could get mouldy? And if that's the case, then how do they wash it? Because, like, they are. Unless it's like seawater that keeps them clean. But in that case, then they can't really be above shore for too long. Also, what happens if you, like, not hide the skin, but, like, destroy it? Is it even destroyable? Is it just, like, forever gonna stay, like, indestructible? And, like, if you do manage to destroy it, does that mean, like, the Selkie can never, like, ever go back into the ocean or sea? If that's the case, then they must, I would hope, at least I would be on high alert if I shed my skin, which I don't. But anyways, here's the story of a Irish Selkie. There are many famous stories that revolve around Selkies in Ireland. One particular one is that of Thady Rua O'Dowd, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, a clan chieftain who was tasked with finding himself a bride upon rising to clan leadership. Apparently, choosing a wife was more difficult than he realised, and he could not make up his mind. Out walking on the beach to clear his head, Thady stumbled upon a beautiful maiden combing her hair. She had a magical cape or coat next to her. Of course, all in Ireland knew of the sea people, the Selkies, and Thady was no different. He quickly snatched up her silky cloak to hide away, professing his love at first sight for her. Without her fishtail, the Selkie called Eve had no choice but to return his love and marry him. Together they ruled the lands and raised their 7 children, but Eve always longed for the sea, so essentially was she forced into it? Does that count as like a forced marriage? I'm not too sure. Also, are they like raised to know like human not human decency, like human practices? Because if they are, then I imagine that they would just do it as seals as well. Or do they have like 2 different mindsets for when they're like out of the water and in the sea? Are they like 2 different animals? Well, they are 2 different animals combined as one, but are they like 2 separate consciousness is like combined as one? Anyways, legend has it that though the Selkie cloak was well hidden, one of their children spotted Thady checking on it and told his mother of the bag of gold. When Thady was away from home, Eve checked the spot her child told her about, and lo and behold, her fishtail. With the return of the fishtail, Eve could not resist the temptation of the sea. So, she wants to go home, because I'm not sure if this counts as kidnapping, but I would probably count it as kidnapping because she can't go back. And so she left to go back to the ocean with her children, but she could not take them all, and instead turned 5 of them into rocks, swimming off into the waves, with the remaining children under each arm. Does it still count as arms since she's a seal? Because, like, she doesn't take... Because, like, anatomically, it would have a different name for a seal, wouldn't it? It would be, like, flippers or something, or is that just am I thinking too deep into this? I probably am, sorry. Anyways, here are the origins of the Selkie myth. Some say the origins of the Selkie myth usually stem from Scottish and Irish ancient people coming into contact with Finnish and or Sami travellers, however you pronounce that, who were thought to be Selkies for their use of sealskin coats and kayaks. As they became waterlogged, the boats would start to submerge, and so the Sami traveller would be required to stop and dry their sealskin clothing and boats out before continuing onwards. Take their fishtails away from them, and it's true enough that the Selkie cannot return to sea. So essentially, they won't essentially they won't be able to start like sailing again without their seal skin. I'm not sure if that means that they like don't want to, because obviously you like physically you could, but like I wonder if it means that the boat was also like, I don't know. I'm a bit confused. If you know something about that, please tell me. Spot a person removing their sealskin clothing and setting it down to dry on the rocks, and you just might think you've witnessed the transformation from seal to man or woman. This idea was proposed by a Victorian-era folklorist. Huh. So it's like with mermaids as well. It's normally just like a not misconception, like a misinterpretation of what they're seeing, because obviously, as it says here, these are humans, and they just have sealskin clothes, I believe. Yeah. Some say that the origins of the Selkie myth actually stem from Scottish and Irish ancient people coming into contact with Finnish and/or semi-travellers who were thought to be Selkies for their use of sealskin coats and kayaks. So yeah, sealskin coats. So yeah, so this whole thing started with just a misinterpretation of what people saw. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, but apparently many people in Ireland know this folklore, and if you go there and you bring up the topic, pretty much anyone you ask will know. Don't come for me if that's incorrect. I haven't been to Ireland. I imagine though that if you see one, if you like see, well, not see, well, sorry, if you are like a quote unquote Selkie, would you not want to keep your identity a secret? Because like if they probably know about like what's happened, because people like Selkies, other Selkies would probably come back and like tell them if they ever do come back, and they'll probably say, oh, someone took my skin that I detached from my body, and then I couldn't come back. Wouldn't they be more cautious? Like, also, would they not be like less willing to like marry someone? Because they don't know them. It's like marrying a stranger, and it's what? But yeah, Selkies seem to be quite docile creatures and apparently really good. Partner material. So, yeah. So, I believe this is the end of my first official episode of Now You Know. I would just like to say the artwork from the thumbnail is mine. So, yeah. And, next time we will still be keeping on the topic of folklore, urban legends, mythical creatures, just probably from a different place around the world. So for here it was the UK area. and then next time, I'm not sure. Probably I would like to do a Japanese urban legend, but I know those can be a bit like creepy and stuff. So if you'd like to listen to something like that, just tell me. So yeah. This is Amber, and when someone asks you about Selkies or the black dog, you can officially say, now you know.